So, hello guys, welcome to this video. I'm making this video to get to know me basically. So, you have been seeing me on a surface level on social media, basically Instagram, and I wanted to put myself out there and to get to know me, my personality, what am I passionate about, how I got to this point, and what my journey has been. So let's get started.
So, hi Siddesh. So, what are you up to nowadays?
For at the moment, I am doing a competition. It's a bodybuilding competition, which is WMBFI, World's Europe Natural Bodybuilding Federation of Ireland, and there is a second competition following week, NBFI, Natural Bodybuilding Federation of Ireland, and this is my first ever time competing in this whole federation.
As we all know, fitness competitions takes a lot of time for preparation. How does your day-to-day looks like while preparing for that competition?
I have been managing, structuring, planning my day from a while now. So to get into a consistency routine is not new for me, and my day would look like I wake up at 6:30, wake up at 6, go work out at 6:30. That's my first part and the huge chunk of physical activity and a physical exhaustion up to 100% for that day. And it's not just that. After that, I have a 9 to 5 working job as well. And after that, for this competition, I have to do, now it's 45 minutes of cardio. So post my work portion of my day, I'm gonna do my cardio as well. And then in between there are meals which I have to be consuming every 2 to 3 hours, and I have to do 5 meals. And then if I manage to, or if I have to go to office for work physically, then I have to meal prep as well. So that comes in my day-to-day structure as well.
That looks very strict. Even listening to it makes me feel tired. I'm sure it must have been very hard for you as well. How did you manage to get into this strict routine? I bet you started very early in your life.
So to start the journey, I want you to take back to where I got my first interest in this whole fitness thing, as well as some of my exercise around my mindset as well. So this would be around second year of my bachelor's degree, around age of 18. And for me, I was academically 1 year ahead of the class or the age or rest of my age group students, or age of my friends would be. So starting that early, I had a boost of 1 year of time with me that my father really ingrained in me, that you have ample amount of time for certain things. So to start with that really young age, and as I grew up and know that anything starting or anything learning at that particular point, it's so good that your body or your mind is so ready or so well absorbed to whatever content you are exposed to. And to say for the fitness part of this whole thing, I started watching or gaining my information and knowledge from sources like fitness YouTubers, which were staying like in the Europe or on the other side of the world, Europe, UK, or US. So I got into fitness and gaining information about not just the training or nutrition, but also workouts, the techniques, principles, what I have to be able to do to optimize my amount of time I have been like expenditure for that craft of that amount of work I'm doing. So I had to have a lot of science based or science backed knowledge as well to able to pursue this as optimal as I can, and that would be my fitness journey. But as I was going through that period, simultaneously I was being exposed to one particular video of Gary Vaynerchuk, which he had the statement going on for years and years now as well, that why are you on this planet? You have like a 1 to 4 billion chance of being alive, so what are you gonna do with that? That was my mindset at 18 years old, and I wanted to craft my own journey. And then from that point, having the business insights of that particular individual, Gary Vaynerchuk, as you guys have heard of, he has this business side of him that he really wants to be exposed as much as he can. So I had that knowledge and that information and that like huge statements that I had like kept on hearing on my mind. So I knew what I was getting myself into in terms of fitness as well, and then the mindset of business I had to knew to be more, to increase my value as well. And then the structure and the routine I have been following was literally just watching those people what they did throughout the day, and I had ingrained in me that it was just now so natural to me. There is nothing out of context or nothing out of the way that I have to do, or I have to think, okay, I have to maybe try thinking to put this into my routine. It's not it's nothing like that. So what I've been doing, and it's been just going on for almost now 4 to 5 years, and it's not new to me at the point. So that's my old routine, and why I have been so consistent with it.
So, next question. I'm sure that you must have had some inspirations. Would you like to tell us or share some of your inspirations that you think that will be useful for anyone who's looking into getting into fitness?
Sure. My first one would be the person I followed first, which is Rob Lipsett, and from there it was just snowball effect of being involved with other like collaborating YouTubers as well. So Rob Lipsett, which is apparently which was from Dublin, Ireland, and my whole journey to be aimed towards was coming here. So that's one other fact about me. And other YouTubers would be Rob Riches, which for the technique and science-based nutrition was really helpful, and I just followed that very well and I saw the result. And one thing I would say that being consistent with getting the results is like the biggest motivation you could ever have. The result you see physically changing about whatever work you put in is like nothing can be beaten by that. So I would say like not just have a physical aspect to it, but this was the starting effect for me, starting to just continue. And up to this point, seeing that physique of those guys, and I knew at the point where they were 10 years, a decade into their own journey, and were at that point where I'm talking about the physique and the muscles and everything they had at the point, they were training for over a decade. So I knew I had to put in a lot of work. I knew it's gonna take 4, 5, 6 years at least, but I also had this wealth of information and knowledge that I could absorb it, learn from it, and just implement it in a way that would just optimize and just not skyrocket my progress, but I cannot be that much. I would say have a negative effect basically. So with that, I had a huge boost from those sources, which I used it efficiently, and I got the result as well. So I kept going. And other thing would be throughout this up to this point, not at the very beginning, but I had few podcasts that I would recommend, which is Rich Road Podcast, Diary of CEO. Those two podcasts I would recommend because there are a lot of people from different walks of life, so you would get to see and know their life journey and how they become successful. So even if you think that the goal you are thinking or the destination you want to reach is so far, and also you have to enjoy the journey. And I vision now what I'm going to look at or what I'm going to feel going on the stage, on that men's physique competition. What I'm gonna do. This is my first time ever doing. I don't know what my physique is gonna look like, but be hell fucking sure that I will be that lean and that competitive, even though I am not just for that going for that industry or just that's not my occupation, but my willingness and my determination to be able to be best of best and going on that stage. That's really huge accomplishment for me, and this was the goal I set for this age bracket I'm in right now. And next I would say Modern Wisdom is a really good podcast as well. And for the science knowledge, I want to also highlight that I'm passionate about neuroscience as well. What goes around or what goes into our bodies, and how there are chemical imbalances or chemical reactions happening, how your thought process starts. All the neuroscience, I really love to learn about that because it's gonna be infinite. No one has figured out our human body system. So knowing about it more and more and more is just never-ending learning cycle. And next would be Rob Riches is done. Christian Guzman is one of the fitness YouTuber. I know for a fact that who is in fitness must have heard of him. He's a really visionary person, and I just want to live with that. Those were the people who I started with looking towards, looking to their journey, their own small wins, and now they are with the huge empire. And I would like to be see myself at certain position or certain that hierarchy of the level, and yeah, that I would say.
That was impressive. As you are in your early 20s, it must be hard to stay away from temptations like going out with your friends, clubs, partying, bars, drinking, and whatnot. How do you manage to stay away from those?
So, there were days that I would go out with friends and really enjoy the company as well. And later on, I would also like to say that to be able to do what I was doing at the point that I really can't explain myself fully because you haven't done anything, you haven't achieved ample amount of thing that you're pursuing, that now that you would be able to show to people that I'm working on this, I can't do this thing exactly. So you have to say no, and you have to be on your own path and not be devolve around the whatever the friends. It's not like whatever they were saying was like a bad or good. It just didn't align with me, and I was okay with that. And just the eating part, or me not drinking, smoking, or any other form of drugs or anything that would harm me or do harm in a negative way of my effort of being to that point or up till now as well, like nobody would, now I would confidently say that there is no one that would influence me into doing something that I don't want to do. So, but at that point, I was so focused on getting that physique. Was my driving force to not do anything that they wouldn't do. So that quote is something like this: "You are the sum of the five people you most hang out with." And for me, those were this fitness online, business oriented people, the self development people, which I was constantly hearing all their stories, listening to them. That was what ingrained in me at the very beginning. So the values and the principles that I have now for myself, and the ability to develop myself, and the skills to pick and choose from these individuals. These are not just five individuals, right? From the podcast, I will listen and get insights to to those individuals who have achieved some extraordinary things in the space of physical development, in the space of like fashion as well. I do follow Alex Costa, who is fashion YouTuber. So for that, I had to, or I want to pick those skills articulately, where I can be able to build myself, build a character in a way where you get the upgrade from maybe just have an example as a game character. So I would be able to manage and pick and choose what I want to be, my personality to be like. So that was my building character phase, kind of. Still now it's like ongoing. There's no stop with that. So, and the temptation thing would be now it's just like no go. No one's gonna influence me in doing something, as I said. And at that point, that was my driving force to be at a point, to be or to reach a goal. And yeah, that was really I have to vision in my mind, because there was no evidence and just the hard work, so I cannot put a date on it. So it was just like keep going. Don't matter if no one is there for me at the point. But yeah, the self-development and everything, that was my holy grail. So
Yeah, talking about social status, what's your social status now? What's your dating scene?
So, as you might have heard about my daily structure, I don't have that much amount of time at the moment, and so it's very difficult to find someone who is understanding. And yeah, finger crossed, I'm gonna leave it at that.
Thank you. And all the best for your competitions. I bet you will do great. What are your plans after the competition?
I have plans. I have drawn some ideas on before the competition as well. What to do in terms of my social engagement, and to build some narrative around my competition journey as well. And after the competition, I have plans in a way where I am gonna I want to be involved in some kind of, not just fitness, but in a modeling kind of way, because that is also one of my passion to do. Or I think I want to try as well the modeling thing, and that's one thing. But I want to take this whole journey, and this is the reason I am filming and documenting the whole journey on YouTube is because everyone can see my starting point from the physics point of view, and it can be visually seen how far I go, or that's like my competition, and how I train, and how like this information and knowledge from my coach and everything that I'm doing, it's gonna be an experience for me. So I want this experience to put into I'll say vaguely now, because I want it to build something bigger with that, and I don't want to say the whole thing now. It's in the planning phase as well, but my ultimate goal would be helping people with this, with reaching their goals with the physical standpoint, as well as from the mindset and from the elevating themselves as a self development, being self aware. I want to help in the way where I can't do podcast or anything at this point, but I want to have some kind of snippets of the podcast I like to be out there, so other people can take away those key points. I know that the attention span right now for this generation is very, very limited or low. So they won't, or anyone who would like to have some kind of experience of those highly individual, extraordinary individuals on the podcast, I would like to have the snippets on it, someplace where anyone can refer to and can access. So I'm planning to build that up as well, and then with my maybe under last like almost like 5 decades ish plan is to be able to be financially more how should I put this, help my parents as well in a way where they don't want, I want them to be as convenient and as efficient as they can be. So I want to be at that level in the financial standpoint as well. So that would be my goal.
So, as you have said, what will you be doing in after at 5 years or later?
Okay, 5 years or later, I want to build some. This is gonna be a vague as well, but the self development is not gonna stop. I want to do challenges that I have. As I said, I did the David Goggins challenge. That was like a very minimal challenge at the point, but that gave me a lot of insight. So I want to push my mental threshold and physical threshold as well. I just wanted to let you guys know that I also did something not that crazy, but I wanted to experiment that I did 72 hours fasted and 72 hours no sleep. So I just wanted to see how much I can push. Just with the state I was in, I was able to do that. So I know with this hectic schedule now, I think that with that barriers that I pushed before, I can be able to take on much more than I could have like maybe 2 years ago with no experience of that particular activity I did. So I would like to push myself. I would like to be doing much more achievements. Achievements is the only thing, or my goals are the only thing that kept me going. To have a purpose, to be able to help people in a way where my expertise or my skills and knowledge are well tested in my own sense, and then I could be able to be in a confident that I could be able to help people. That would be my next like 10 years, and even then like to say that would be my peak age of like my own peak age, like 28, 32. So my own physical state would be so much. I would be doing this fitness and everything. I like to sculpt like my physique, like I like to see the aesthetic and aesthetic things. So naturally I'm gonna be doing these things, and my values and principles and everything would be as they are right now. and maybe I would have much more skills as well, personal skills I would like to have, and like that is it, just grow more.
That's all.
So this is it. I hope you guys now know me in depth and you get to know me, my personality, where I'm like coming from, like how's my journey been, and yeah, I hope to share more with you, not just Instagram and fashion and stuff like that, but like this format more later on. Maybe I'm gonna be checking with myself as well 6 to 8 months later, looking back at this video later on as well. And yeah, just continuing my journey. I'm gonna document this, and that is it. I'm gonna thank you for watching this video, and I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Goodbye.